All right, welcome back. So we were talking about the effect of movies if they can have a bad effect on children, even on adults, by the way. And I shared with you in the previous part why and how actually movies have an effect on us. We are all suggestible beings. Human beings are suggestible. You might think, oh, I'm not. I guarantee you that all human beings are suggestible to a certain degree. We are not all at the same level of suggestibility. Some people are more suggestible, some people are less suggestible. That is being fresh, green to hypnosis. Yeah, so that if they never had hypnosis, officially formal hypnosis or the use of trance before. Yeah, we all have certain degrees of suggestibility, but we're all suggestible. And you may say you are not, and I guarantee you are. Why do you think that there is advertising on the buses, on the trains, on the buildings, on billboards? Why do you think there is so much advertising on TV? Why do you think there's so much advertising in movies? Because this is where we started from. I say, but I'm not watching them. You are not watching them consciously. I mean them, meaning what I mean by the word them here is the commercials, the ads. I'm not listening to them, I'm doing something else. But unconsciously, or some of you may say subconsciously, you pick up everything. Consciously you can't. In fact, in NLP, we know that consciously you pick up a very small amount of the information that's all around you at any given moment. But unconsciously, you pick up everything. Listen, the advertising companies are not stupid. They have the most intelligent people and capable people working around. Do you think that they will use so much advertising, so many commercials, if it doesn't work? Of course it works. We are all suggestible to a certain degree. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. Now, that's not to say that you should sit there going, oh my God, everybody's going to suggest stuff to me, I better not listen. Yeah, you have to pay attention, of course. But you can use a self-suggestion so that you don't pick up suggestions that are not good for you. So you can talk to yourself. You can talk to yourself and you can use a suggestion for the intelligence of your body, which we call the unconscious mind. Yeah, the automatic way of behaving, which we call unconscious, to not do that. So you can say something like, I know the difference between those things that are good for me, that are positive, healthy, happy for me, and those that aren't. So unconscious mind, from now on, I'm talking to myself, yeah? So unconscious mind, from now on, you are to reject, delete, eliminate all those things that are not good, happy, healthy for me, and keep only the ones that I like and I want, and they are positive for me. Yeah, you can use this as an affirmation, if you wish. Yeah, and say it to you every day, several times a day. And so you train yourself at the unconscious level to simply reject everything that's not good and positive and healthy for you. Now, just between us, your unconscious mind will act upon the beliefs that you hold to be true, which are not true for everybody else, by the way, the values that you have, which are not the same as every other person's values, because all of those operate unconsciously and at the unconscious level. So your unconscious mind will operate on that. If it's okay for you to watch movies where people kill each other all the time, according to your beliefs, and you think that that's fun, then your unconscious mind will operate on that. It's just I'm giving you an extreme example. Yeah, but as such, there are tons of other examples that are used in the movies. I described to you a little bit in the previous video I did on this theme, the fact that the advertising and the movie industry especially uses a lot of advertising. Now you say, well, advertising of what? Advertising of products, advertising of cars, advertising of fashion, advertising of ideas, new societal trends, yeah? New advertising of new gadgets that you may not see right then and there on the market, but maybe 6 months later. Something appears and then you have a feeling of familiarity Also, movies can desensitize us because at the unconscious level, we get used to a certain thing. Initially, we start, oh, that's just a movie. But then we see another one, oh, that's just a movie. Then we see another one with the same theme, oh, that's just a movie. Unbeknownst to our conscious reasoning, we begin to get used to the idea, meaning we get desensitized. And then we see something terrible happening in real life, but it's not shocking to us anymore because we kind of are, it's that feeling of familiarity. We are desensitized to that idea. Based on suggestibility, we can have ideas implemented in the fabric of political, geopolitics, economics, financial, social constructs of the whole world, right? So that's also possible. Children are very suggestible, especially children. So I was talking now about adults, but children, especially up to the age of 7, they're like little sponges, little unconscious minds walking about. They don't have a critical faculty. So everything they absorb from their environment. So I would say that if you care about your child's mental and emotional and physical health, you will be very careful what you allow them to watch. There are things that are very good and healthy for them, and there are things that are exactly to the contrary. Things that are teaching them, no matter what you say, are teaching them unconsciously via suggestions, sort of a behavior, a sort of an action, a sort of a way of thinking and feeling, which may not be the best. So yes, the movies do have an effect on us, on everybody, but especially on children. Up to the age of 7, as I said, they're like little sponges. Imagine a sponge absorbing everything in the environment uncritically. Little children don't have a critical faculty. Just around the age of 7, just about the age of 7, they begin to distinguish. And what is the critical faculty? It is simply the ability for us to discern and make the difference between, it's the part of us that cares to distinguish between reality and fantasy. Little children don't have that. Young children don't have that. Young people are simply little unconscious minds roaming around and accepting everything directly in the unconscious mind. Now, there are things that are good. There are things that may not be so good. And then we grow up into adults, but we still operate on those beliefs that were they were implanted when we were like walking about absorbing everything, right, without a critical faculty. We still operate on those and we think that's the truth. And I put quotes in air quotes here around the word truth. It's not the truth. It's simply what we accepted as real from where? From our parents' conversations or our caretakers' conversations, if we have brothers and sisters older than us, especially from the TV, from games, from shows, from all around us, from the mainstream media or alternative media, all sorts of things, from especially social media. Because not everything that appears there is the truth, not to speak now with the ability of AI to create things that are virtually indistinguishable with the naked eye from real things, and it's just made up. I mean, the AI has got an incredible set of capabilities, and from here on only further, so it's going to be very hard eventually to even distinguish what's real from what's virtual. I'm not saying this is a matter of scaring. It's nothing scary. It's just a matter of wise discernment, and you need to realize that you are suggestible. Your children are suggestible. And if, let me give you a very simple example. Yeah, you're trying to be very health conscious with what your child is eating. But they see on TV or they see on social media especially, they see on YouTube, they go, and there's so much advertising, it's not even funny, right? And tomorrow they want to go to the worst fast food chain that you can imagine and eat their double burger with whatever, which is not even real food. 10 years later, you store it somewhere and it's unchanged, right? So be careful. I'm just saying, just realize how your mind, and both the conscious part of your mind and the unconscious part of your mind operate, and just be aware. Now, I'm going to repeat again for those of you who missed it. You can use self-suggestion. Kind of if you want to call it, I'm not going to go into detail explaining to you how hypnosis works here. I teach this in our trainings. I teach it's running from the practitioner training. In the master practitioner, we get to the advanced techniques. We have the hypnosis trainers training, but that's particular for those people who love hypnosis, want to use it. Maybe they're hypnotherapists, and so they make a career out of this. But for those of you who don't, but that they just want to know something to do right now, right here to help yourself, simply use this as an affirmation and say the following. Talk to yourself. It's the part of you that we call the unconscious mind. It's a part of you, by the way. It's not something separate from you. It's a part of you. It's simply a part of you, the intelligence of your body, and you can say the following. Dear unconscious mind, I'm talking to myself. I know, or you can talk first person. I know the difference between those things that are healthy, positive, and beneficial for me, and those that aren't. From now on, I'm not you talk to your unconscious mind. Yeah? You are automatically gonna delete, reject, remove all the suggestions that are not positive, healthy, and beneficial for me, and keep only those that are. And do this several times a day. You'll begin to notice automatically that you're not going to accept things just because you're suggestible, because you have no idea how much you accept unknowingly just by suggestion and trance. There's a lot, and that's why I love to teach this, because in order to protect yourself from unwanted suggestions, things that are not healthy for you, that are not healthy for your physical body, for your conscious mind, for your ability to think, for your emotions, and sometimes even for your spiritual beliefs. You don't want those things just to come in just by you being unconscious. So I'd love to teach you all this. I do. If you're interested, let us know. And we have further training starting from a 3-day short weekend where you can learn how hypnosis works. Is the best way. Understanding how it works, first of all, is the best way to protect yourself from unwanted suggestions, and further to use self-hypnosis to improve your well-being, to release stress and all the other stuff. But that's a completely different story. In the next video, I will share with you a simple hypnotic technique. You don't need to be a hypnotherapist. You use it just for yourself or to work with your children. That is very, very useful and very practical. I'll see you then. Be well.